$146,000 though off of just one video is wild. And how much have you made in commission out of that?
I have done a little over $1.3 million in GMV. Wow. In commission, $222,000. So my first super viral video was for one of the electric callus removers. Last year in June, between June and the middle of July, that one video of me with a foot callus made me $32,000. You can't change your life if you don't do something to change it.
Welcome back to another episode of the Social Army Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce, and today we have a very special guest with us that goes by the name of Sara Stole My Name, and she has done very well for herself on the TikTok shop within the affiliate program. And still, to this day, juggles a full-time job with it, which I love to see, because outside of this, there's still a lot of passions that people have, and sometimes, doing this on the side just kind of helps give you that extra little spark, and it gives you that extra boost in income that you didn't know you needed until you have it. So that's pretty cool. But before we get started in all of that, I do want to give a quick disclaimer to anybody watching this. These episodes are not financial advice. So anything that you hear us talking about in regard to any sort of financial decisions being made, please don't take it as such. We are not financial advisors, and that's not what we are here to do. Also, the results that you see inside these episodes are not typical results. It does not mean that they are impossible, because believe me, with a little bit of grit and determination, you can make these results happen for yourself. But they're not typical, okay? It does take a lot of work, it does take a lot of time, and it takes a little bit of mastery involved with all of it. So please keep that in mind. This is not some get-rich-quick scheme that you see a lot of people promoting. This does take a lot of work and effort to go into it to make it work for you. Now, with all that being said, I don't like taking a long time on these intros, so without any further delay, Sara, if you will.
Hey, I'm Sara. I started doing TikTok back almost a year ago, and I fell in love with absolutely everything that happened. I started with a faceless account because I was so terrified to put myself out there and show my face and show my voice. Everything was AI. And when I got that into TikTok shop, I made the worst AI video that you'd ever seen for lion's mane, and I got banned right away because I'm this will change your life. It's a miracle. But it made $60, and I was so excited.
That's crazy.
I was like, this is crazy. You can actually make money on this thing. What the heck, $60? And so I was talking to my husband, and I was like, I really want to do this. And he's like, no, just keep doing, faceless or whatever. So I started another account, and I got in back when the loophole method was around.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started just doing other faceless stuff. And then one day I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna post a video. And I did a skincare video for a product that I had already used over and over again. And I remember I was on a trip for work in Mexico, and I'm out to dinner with my coworker, and I'm like, oh my God, my video's going viral. What the heck's happening? I about lost my shit. And I mean, it was 50,000 views, and I had made $100, and then it just kept going. And by the time I was done with that trip, I think I made $2,000, and I was at 1 million views or something. And I mean, it paid $1 a pop.
Right,
and I was
right.
This is insane. And she thought I was crazy. But when I got back, I just was like, I got to do this. This is a real thing.
Right.
And I've been obsessed ever since.
I mean, that feeling you get with that first video it's surreal. It's something you'll never experience again, right? It's one of those feelings you get, and you're like, holy shit, I just cracked the code to make money on the internet, let alone $2,000 just in a short amount of time is absolutely insane, especially when you didn't expect anything from it in the first place. So that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I feel you though. My coworkers were the same way when I started doing it. And I was like, look at this, man. I made $100 today. Like, oh yeah, that's cool. Whatever. Let me see it in your bank account, but it's insane where it took you, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. What product was it? You said it was just a skincare product. Is it still around?
Yeah. It's The Ordinary. It's a skincare product that's an old Sephora. And I had been using it. I had lost a lot of weight over the last 3 years. And so my lines and my smile lines, I did a before and after. And so it just popped off because of that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you lean heavily into that skincare side of things after that? Or did you kind of find yourself somewhere else within products?
I fell into that, but I
Uh-huh.
had never really cared about skincare, and that still kind of is like one of my categories.
Uh-huh.
But then I fell into health because along with the weight loss, I lost a lot of hair. And so
Ah,
that transitioned me into Mary Ruth's, which is my everything. And
right.
so I started sharing that journey of how all my hair had like fallen out back here and was breaking off.
Oh, wow.
And so now I'm really in the health category for the most part.
That's awesome. And Mary Ruth is a great product. Mary Ruth is a great product. I do have a question for you that I want to ask a little bit later on when we get into some of the challenges you may have faced with that. But outside of all of that, you've been doing this now for about a year. How
Mhm.
much do you think you've made in total GMV? And for those of you that don't know what GMV is, that's total amount of sales across the board. And then how much have you made in commission out of that, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind at all. I have done a little over $1.3 million in
Wow,
GMV.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And in commission, the in settled commission, so what's hit my bank account is $222,000.
That's insane. That's so much money in a year, in less
That's
than a
so
year's
much.
time. Like, that's great. Did you ever expect yourself to get to this point?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
No, like I was so excited with like $1,000 a month. I
Right.
never
And
thought
that's,
that I would.
oh, that's crazy. What were some of the big plans you had with this once you started really getting there? Did you start paying off debts? Did you, start setting yourself up for like a nest egg or things of that nature?
Yeah, um, so I'm 42 and I never had savings and going through like COVID and stuff and in my
Right.
line of work I had lots of conversations with people and they were like things are getting more expensive and we just don't have the money and I see the struggles with people and all
Yeah.
of a sudden I was terrified. So
Right.
now I've got money in savings. I've
That's
got
amazing.
money stacked away like it's just all going in there and my husband we just basically he's a machinist so he makes knives and we just
Oh,
bought
that's awesome.
everything he needs to run a business and make a business like
Wow.
all this machinery and stuff
There's
so
so many knife makers like blacksmiths on TikTok that make a really good living out of making videos of that kind of stuff. Is that
yeah,
something that you guys have kind of moved towards with him, maybe, or hopefully?
we're hopefully we're still getting the
That's
shop set
so
up and
cool.
everything but yeah it allowed us to do that.
Being able to that's what this is all about. And this is why I love this so much. And this is why I like doing these episodes with people is because you're able to now fund the passions that you have.
Mhm.
It's so difficult to do that kind of stuff while working a full-time job that is very limited in terms of the amount of income you can make. Because there's a cap, right? There's a cap on how much you can make with a regular style job. But when you have a side hustle or a side income that truly doesn't have a cap and that's only works with the amount of effort you put into it along with creativity. When it pays itself off, it's amazing to see because now you guys can do all this kind of stuff that you probably wouldn't have been able to do otherwise.
No, not at all.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
What does he
completely
think about the whole thing?
oh
Right.
he hated it in the beginning like he was like this is awful and honestly I think if he saw the majority of the videos he'd be like what are you doing but my first I was joking around one day. So my first like super viral video was
Uh-huh.
for one of the electric callus removers.
Okay. I just got
Okay,
one of
so
those actually like a couple of weeks ago.
start grinding your feet.
Okay.
Start grinding your feet because last year
Okay.
in June I made last year in June between June and the middle of July that one video of me with a foot callus made me $32,000. And so I took yeah, I know. I was like, what? So I took him one day to go buy him his dream guitar because
Uh-huh.
it was something he's always wanted and we could do that. And I took him. And so we're in the middle of a guitar center and he was like, thanks, babe. And I lifted up my left foot and I was like, say thanks to the foot.
And you
Now
know
he
what's
loves it.
crazy? Yeah, and you know what's crazy is you didn't have to go to one of those crazy websites to make money off of your feet. You
Yeah.
just had to do it on TikTok. And
Yeah.
you did it by grinding dead skin off. That's insane. Oh, he's forever in debt to that foot. That's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I need to. I got one. My wife wanted it. She saw a video of it. She goes, I need one of these. I was like, all right, cool. So I went out and got a free sample of it. I still need to create the video of it. But yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go through and create a video. about doing that. I saw someone do it and act like they were serving Parmesan cheese with their foot over a plate of spaghetti. So maybe that might be the
That's
hook.
a comment that you get a lot. Make sure the light is shining so that the foot flakes
The
are
dust is
shining.
going in.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's horrible. All right. Well, aside from the foot success, what other kind of achievements have you been able to have on TikTok Shop? What are some of your best videos or some of your best hooks that you've put out that have just performed in ways you didn't think they would?
Um, so Mary Ruth's has always been like my biggest thing, and it's my tried
Uh-huh.
and true. Like I go back to it constantly. And I have these two videos that one, people get so confused and they get overwhelmed when it comes to like supplements and different things that they can
Yeah.
take. So my biggest video is just me comparing the three main hair growth supplements and explaining them all and then pointing to like my favorite one. And that one, the product will go out of stock for like a month at a time, but then the moment it comes back, the video takes off again.
Yeah.
It is just nonstop. And it's been going. And that video in the last 6 months has generated $140,000.
My
Yeah.
goodness, that's like your biggest performing video standalone. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then I have another one that's similar where I'm like, oh, I decided to stop taking this Mary Ruth's hair growth supplement because I'm taking this one, pointing to the
Right.
same product. And that same one did $137,000 in the last 6 months. So both of those videos are just constantly going. So I recreate them all the time because I think that if you can get one of the things I notice is like everybody's always looking for that next viral video, but I feel
Yeah,
like it's really hard to get that. So
it
my
is.
goal has always been sustainability and figuring out how to keep it sustainable where you're not having those flows like this, but you're having this, boop, and then you're
Yep.
flattening out again. So I'll recreate all those videos and I have a whole bunch that'll convert 2, 3, 4 sales in a day. And it's just a giant snowball.
Yeah, that's it. You have a constant, and once you dip below the constant, that's when the problem occurs.
Mhm.
But if you can remain at constant or above, you're in a good line. The
Yeah.
thing that a lot of people I don't think understand about this is you just said it. Chasing that next viral video is very difficult to do. Sure, virality is great. That gives you explosive growth. But keeping at your constant is the best thing you can do. If you find something that works, replicate it 3, 4, 5, 6 different times. And as long as those videos go out to the same audience, which 9 times out of 10 they will, with the same structure, you're going to continue to earn a baseline of income.
Hmm.
For months, I didn't dip below 10 grand a month on TikTok Shop because I had so much content out there that was at a constant. Then I stopped producing. I fell
Yeah.
below my baseline. Now it's hard for me to climb back up to where I was. We're getting there, right? But it's the proof is there, and it's exactly what I tell everybody all the time. You've got to remain consistent with everything that you do, even if the results aren't as explosive as they were last month. Guess what? As long as you don't dip below your constant, you're perfectly fine. You just got to
Exactly.
stay there. It can be difficult to do. Believe me, I understand that because putting out consistent content hard, especially when you feel as if you're getting repetitive. But guess what? Your audience doesn't know that because it's a fresh set of eyes almost every single time.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
$146,000 though off of just one video is wild over and over.
I
That's
know. It's
nuts.
ridiculous.
So when you compare the different brands, are you naming them by brand? Because this is a big question a lot of people have is if they're allowed to do comparisons, right? One of our things with best practice is don't name the other brand, but you can point at them or point at, competitive styles. What do you do in that sense? How are you doing that?
I'm doing everything in the same brand.
Oh, you're just comparing different SKUs.
Yep. Everything is in the same brand,
Interesting.
but I'll point to one that's better because while Mary Ruth has three different main hair growth supplements, it's here, the best. So it's
Okay.
here, the viral one, pointing to a different one.
Got you.
So although I did just make a video comparing the Dyson, the Air Wrap tool, that $600
Yeah.
tool, to Fantic now has one that's similar, that's like a hundred
Saw that.
bucks. And my video started off with the Dyson and I threw it in the garbage.
Yeah, that's good.
So, but I didn't, you can't see Dyson, but if you know, you know what
Right.
it is. So, yeah.
It's their products are unmistakable. You cannot deny what they look like. Everyone knows what a Dyson looks like, especially if that's something you're interested in, you know exactly what that is. Because that's like, what do they call it? The cream of the crop. That's the top
Oh,
of the
yeah.
line. But Fantic slowly climbs up everybody else's ass. Fantic is a great brand. How do you like
Hmm.
that thing, by the way, the air curler or whatever it is.
The real one or the Fantic one?
The Fantic one.
I haven't actually tried it yet.
That's fair. That's fair. Fantic has a blow dryer that I want to get. I go through blow dryers like crazy for my beard and my beard only.
Yeah.
I've broken 2 of them because I have to run it so hot that I've melted the internals. Crazy. But I want the Fantic one. I want to test it out. But I love all the Fantic products. I have all of them.
It looks good.
All
I
of them.
saw it too.
Yeah. Need it. I need it. So, question. Give me some of your best tips for anybody trying to promote this hair growth, because this is a product that people love. But the biggest problem I see most people facing is violations because of either exaggerated claims or misleading, or what's the other one? Is it misleading? I think it's misleading that they give you.
It's the same rule across the board for any supplement. You cannot say that this does this. You cannot say that the supplement does whatever, right? But you can say it has biotin in it. It has Listriva in it. Listriva is clinically shown to help grow that thicker, fuller hair. So you never want to say that the product itself is going to do something, because that's a straight up violation. But if you nitpick every ingredient that's in there that does something, then you'll never get a violation. I haven't had a violation on a health product since we had that webinar. So we had that webinar, the health webinar.
Right.
And that's
Yeah,
where
the one with TikTok.
Yep. That's where they cleared it all up. And so since then, them breaking it down like that, I'm never scared of getting a violation.
That's crazy. I'm terrified. Yeah. I think or breathe or look in the direction of a supplement, I'm violated instantly.
You got to talk about the specific ingredients.
You know, I made a video one time talking about the price, and they violated me for exaggerated claims, health claims. I didn't mention anything about I just talked about the price. I'm telling you, TikTok hates me with violations or with supplements. I don't get it.
How long ago was
that? Was Q4. That was December, Q4.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, when the protection was in place, right? Which was crazy. It didn't make any sense, but I don't know. But that's good to know. That's really, really good to know, because a lot of people really don't understand. Not saying that this does this. There's things you can say, right? One of the biggest things that I think people mistake is you can say that these are my own results and yours may vary, right? Results may vary. That's perfectly okay. But I don't think people understand that that's something they can say. And they say, this is what it does for me. It can do it for you too. That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
That's huge. So, excuse me. What is kind of like how do you, when you look at these products and you want to promote these products, what goes through your mind before making them? Do you script your stuff out, or do you really just look at it and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and talk about what it's done for my hair? Or what is your kind of your workflow when it comes to creating these videos?
So anything Mira Ruth, because I use the product and I love the product, I can talk about it, and it's always the same stuff. There's not any new information that's going into those. But like when I'm picking out new products and I want to add stuff to my everyday that I promote, I get it. I'll make the one video, which will usually just be horrible because I'm sitting there just figuring out what it all does, and it's kind of scripted, but not really. But I'm looking, and then as I'm taking it, I have to be taking the supplement for me to be able to talk about it and be able to promote it properly. So like lullabies, I can make a video because I take them every darn day. So at this point, I can talk about it and share my experiences and stuff like that. So it just has to be like, I've got a whole shelf full of stuff here. Literally, like, the supplements are out of control. But the ones I'll make videos on are things that I take constantly. All ashwagandha, things like that. Like, I take it all the time, so I'll tell you about it, and I'll continue on.
I love how you touched on that, because it just validates a lot of the things that we say when it comes to selling with experience or selling from experience. It's very difficult to sell a product if you know nothing about it. Now, you had mentioned that, your first video is generally kind of scripted and it's kind of bad. Do you post that video, or do you just make that video to make it?
I post it.
You post it.
Because not all my videos are good. Half of my videos are horrible. But I post it. Like, I made a video today on some collagen tablet things that has a lot of skincare in it. And so I haven't started taking it yet. So I don't know what kind of results I'm actually going to get from it. So I literally just talked about what each ingredient does, and I'm going to post it because, you you got to just keep getting all the darn videos out there.
Even if it's good or it's bad, you just get it out there.
Yeah.
I love that. See, this is
Yeah.
stuff that needs to be talked about more often too. And you just said it. I mean, it's not that your content's bad, right? Just some of the videos are not curated for the success as others are.
Yeah.
You're going to post those videos. You're going to get them out there, but it's a video posted. But the good thing is, it's still a quality video because you might have somebody that comes across it and just wants to know what the ingredients are and what they do. And that might be their trigger point, right? You never know. But getting it out there is what's important. So I love that you said that that's something that you do, because I think a lot of people hold themselves up. They don't want to post the content. You just got to post the content.
Just post the
How
content.
many videos a day do you post, do you think?
Between 5 and 7, sometimes 9.
On just one account?
Yeah, I have 2 backup accounts that I don't have the time at this point. Like, I can't keep track of it all.
That's fair. I don't blame you. I have 7 accounts and I post religiously on one, but I post across 3 normally.
Yeah. I can't.
I don't blame you. It's hard. I feel that. I feel that. Life just wears us out nowadays, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But hey, at least, posting on that one account, you've really been able to figure out exactly what works for you. And you're just rinsing and repeating a lot of what already works. And that's really the key to all this. And I love that. Really do. So this account that you're on now, how did you get it from 0 to 5,000 followers?
I didn't. I got it in the loophole.
Okay. Were you able to get out of it? Or are you still technically in it? Okay, so you got out of it.
So I got out of it. Remember when they dropped the followers down to 1,000?
I do.
Okay, that's when I got out of it.
Nice, you got lucky. Some people got their accounts yanked. When I switched, I had 29,000 followers when I switched mine, and I got taken out of the program. It's crazy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but that account got back in like a month and a half later. I almost lost 10 grand because of it. But for those of you that are viewing this and you're hearing the word loophole, you've heard it a couple of times now. Something that's not talked about anymore. You used to be able to get into the TikTok Shop affiliate program with 0 followers by creating a seller account and linking a personal account to it. That method no longer works. It was never intended to work, hence the reason it was called a loophole. TikTok has since fixed it and patched it. It's been almost a year, actually beginning of April will be a year that method has not worked. So if you hear us talking about that, it's just, we've been doing this for quite a while now. It was something that worked back in the day. It's no longer a thing. You have to have, at minimum, 5,000 followers to get in the TikTok Shop's affiliate program without being invited to the pilot program. If you've been invited to the pilot program, you can have as little as 1,000 followers, but you have to have that invite from TikTok. When being invited to that pilot program, you're only allowed to post 5 shoppable videos per week. 1 video a day during the weekdays. Okay. So please keep that in mind. There's no quick workaround. There's no fast track to it. There's none of that. It requires you to follow the rules and have the followers that are required in order to be in that program to participate. Used to be like the Wild Wild West back then, and there really wasn't many rules, but TikTok wants to make a platform that lasts for a long time and is sustainable for creators and brands alike. So that's just kind of where we're at with that. I do apologize if anybody was looking for a quick way in. It doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, moving on. So let's talk about some challenges that you faced. Obviously, in the very beginning, you've had some crazy challenges, right? Or not, I wouldn't say crazy, but you had some challenges. How did you overcome them and what were they?
I mean, the biggest one is, honestly, I think the biggest challenge for me was just being scared to be on the internet. Like, nobody wants to I don't know very many people that want to put themselves on the internet or that feel comfortable in front of the camera. And I don't know how the hell I bartended for 18 years, but yet I'm super shy over here. But out there, I was a whole different person. It was like an act, but putting yourself in front of the camera and recording, at first it was like, oh, my hair, my makeup. Now it's like, I don't care. I could have allergies, my nose be red, snot pouring down my face, but I got to make a video and get it out there. Now it just doesn't matter, because who cares? Like, it's a job and we've all got to do our job, and it just doesn't matter. It was terrifying at first, though. Absolutely terrifying.
I was the same way. I only wanted to create faceless content because I thought that's what was going to be the best. Once I started showing, because I was in sales, for a decade, and body language is everything. Facial expression, tonality. People read that kind of stuff. Yeah. And when you have it done properly, it really plays to your advantage with authenticity. And like you just said, you could be snot-faced, sick, whatever the case may be. That's just more authentically you, right? At the end of the day, you're not putting on a show. You're not trying to be fake. You're not trying to do any of that. And I think that's what people buy into more than anything else. Um, Outside of the challenges with Faceless, how did you like overcome that? What was that one turning point?
Just rip the Band-Aid off. Just one
Yeah.
day I just ripped the Band-Aid off and I just started doing it. And I was like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I'm not doing this for the people that are on the other side watching this. I'm doing this for me and my family. So once I realized that this was an actual thing, it just got easier as time went on. You know, I tell everybody that's scared to post, just do it, rip the Band-Aid off, because it will get easier and easier and easier as it goes.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. You have to. You know, it might hurt. It might feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But one of the easiest ways to do it is just to do it. You know,
Yep.
you just gotta do it. And if you're uncomfortable with it, start sending videos to your friends. Send it to your best friend. Send it to your mom. Send it to your brother. Send it to your sister. Send it to your significant other. Whoever it is. Take that video, send it to them. Get uncomfortable in front of them first. Because to me, they're the most... hell, up until like a month ago, I was still embarrassed to film in front of my wife. And I do this full time. You know, because my wife's going to be the judgiest out of them all. Like, why you look like that? Why you talking like that? Shut up. Let me do my job, you know? But she's just poking fun. But a lot of the times you've just got to learn how to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because growth does not come from within that comfort zone at all. Yeah. $220,000 doesn't get made by being uncomfortable. I'm sorry, by being comfortable at all. Yeah. I still can't believe it. It's crazy. In less than a year's time, you're killing it. Absolutely killing it.
I wake up every day and I'm just so... Today I was doing something and my husband was downstairs in his office and I ran down there and I said, sometimes I just get this wave of like calm, happy, and just so grateful for everything that is going on. And I just know that everything is going to be just fine. Like whatever throws at us, everything's going to be just fine. And before I started doing this, I was never that way. I was always like on edge and stressed, you know? And I just feel, and it's so nice.
Beautiful feeling, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful feeling. We just had some personal issues happen in our life recently over the past couple of months, which has been another reason why I haven't been super active in terms of posting. But, we lost somebody in the family. I've had to make 2 or 3 trips back to California from Oklahoma. And we drive because we've got a big family. Hotel stays, lots of money coming out of pocket. You know, I had to pay X amount of money to another issue that I was having. But if it wasn't because of TikTok Shop, I wouldn't have been able to do all that. I would have been flipping out. We would have been losing our minds. You know, I wouldn't have been able to do any of that. But I was able to drop almost 20 grand to handle the business that needed to be handled and still have breathing room.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity, I think, that can really help a lot of people if they take it seriously enough. You know, but you have to want it. You have to have a big enough why to the want. If your why is not big enough, your want will never get you there, ever. You can want it all you want, but what's the reason for the want? You know, I don't think a lot of people can discover that. Those of us that, you know, have dealt through difficult times or constantly lived in fight or flight mode, which it sounds like you were in that for quite some time, when you finally get that breathing room, it's almost an uneasy feeling that you're not used to and you don't know how to handle it. Sometimes you just got to take a step back, take a deep breath and be like, oh shit. It's real life. I can breathe. I can relax. I can sit down. Take that in. Soak it in. Take full advantage of it. And don't stop. Yeah. Seriously. Because once you stop, it all comes back. It all comes back. So, have you ever dealt with violations like crazy on here before? I know you said you haven't dealt with a whole lot of them, but have you dealt with crazy violations?
In the beginning, I would go live with Mary Ruth's and I was getting violations and I had no idea why, but it was misleading claims, but it was like, this is clinically shown. And I was just saying the wrong thing.
Sure.
And then this one time where I was stupid and I made a video on the eye massagers and I was like, yeah, you can Bluetooth music. And somebody was like, oh, you can? Show us. And I Bluetooth Taylor Swift.
Oh, no.
And I didn't even think about it, that little clip, and I was like, immediately it got me. But
did they violate you or just remove your sound?
Oh, no. I got violated because
Oh
I
no.
literally Bluetoothed it and was playing it and you could hear it. And
Yeah.
then I think I got like 6 or 9 points or something.
Oh, that's harsh. My goodness.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. You'd think Taylor Swift was coming after me for that one, but
Right.
her money. But that, I think I've been pretty good. Violations have been a lot lighter over the past like 3 months.
They
I
have.
haven't gotten any.
TikTok. Yeah, I'm right there
Knocking
with
on all the wood.
you. TikTok has even come out and said that they're working on that. The AI is really improving. They actually now have a video checker, like a violation checker that you can run your videos so you can do 5 of them per day. I don't know how well it works. I don't post supplements, so I'm never going to upload a video into that to check. But they're actively working towards making that better for people, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is really good. So the reason I asked about the whole violation thing is because I was going to lead into lives next, and you immediately told me that some of your lives were getting those violations. Do you do lives often, or are you mainly just kind of videos?
Just videos. I
Just
go
videos.
live every so often if I'm like on vacation from work or something. Um, the Momofuku noodles or whatever
Yeah,
were like
yeah.
$15 with free shipping. So I went live for like my entire vacation and was
You
making
made
like
some money, huh?
$1,500 like for every 2 hours. People buying noodles. But I just don't have the time to go live all the time.
That cracks me up. Some of the shit that people can get away with selling live that you could just go to the store for, but there's a frenzy all over TikTok for it. It's insane. I don't want to go too much further into time here. I think we pretty much covered quite a few things on here. I do want to give you an opportunity, though, to give out any sort of motivational message or any sort of final thoughts that you have to anybody, especially people who are just starting or somebody that may have been in your shoes in terms of the way that you felt before doing all of this or the way that your life was before doing all of this. Because whether you believe it or not, your experiences, as they may feel unique to just you alone, they're shared generally with thousands of other people. And I'd love for anyone else who's listening to this to really have an opportunity to feel and understand where you were coming from before this was able to set you on a path that it has now.
You can't change your life if you don't do something to change it. And typically things are so scary, but once you get to the other side, it is so incredibly worth it. And if you don't do it, you're never going to know, right?
Right.
Like, just do it. Just rip the band-aid off. Just do it. Just go for it. Just try. While it's hard work, nothing in life comes easy, but you literally have the opportunity to change your life in so many ways. Like, it's stupid not to do it. It's stupid not to try.
What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
You get 200 views and the video flops? Okay. Do it again.
80% of them do.
Mm-hmm. You've posted probably hundreds of videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe thousands at this point.
190 a month or something. Yeah.
Oh my God, a month. I thought you were going to say in total. I was like, oh, that's not that much. And then you hit the monthly mark. So you've posted over 1,000, almost 2,000 videos then, roughly.
Probably, yeah.
Out of those 2,000 videos, how many of those do you think make you money?
Make me money on a regular basis is probably going to be 20 to 30.
That's not even 1%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, some videos might sell one item and then you never hear from them again. And then some videos, a lot of videos don't do anything. They just flop. But it's the ones that do that make the difference.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. If that doesn't put things into perspective for any of you guys viewing this, I don't know what will.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a minute amount of videos that are actually doing something for you. It's just the work that's put in. A lot of the people think that they see these success from all these creators and they're like, oh, they just got it quick, or oh, they just got lucky. You're not the definition of luck here. Yeah, you're the definition of consistency.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of obsessiveness too.
That helps though. When you like what you're doing, it becomes an obsession, right? And then it becomes really fun.
Absolutely. I scroll all the time like, okay, what can I do now? How can I be better? You've always got to like adjust and change. So that's all I do. It's always research.
That's it. You've got to though. That's awesome. I love that. Well, you guys, if you guys have made it this far, I really do hope that Sara has inspired you in one way or another, because to make over $200,000 in less than a year's time And to do this while continuing to work a full-time job in a leadership role as well. I know we didn't touch a whole lot on that, and probably won't do a whole lot in that regard, but while in a leadership role that requires a lot of brain function from her on a daily basis, and to still come home and be able to do this outside of that is incredible. I don't even know how to juggle my life with just working from home and dealing with my children. Yet she's out here doing it as a whole. And that's something really, really crazy to see and very inspiring as well. I really do hope that you guys want to give it a chance, and I hope that you guys do give it a chance. And if you want to, there's going to be a link down below this podcast, either if you're on YouTube or Spotify, with a link to join Social Army. We have two sides of it now. You have a freemium side where you have access to a chat where affiliates will be inside of, as well as coaches helping you guys out. You have access to the viewable section of the wins inside our premium side. You also have access to the Social Army app. With limited resources. If you want to join the premium side, Sarah's link will be down below. Anytime you guys sign up, you'll be directly supporting her. You guys get access to the entire community as well as the app and everything else that we offer. I highly encourage you guys checking it out. If you haven't looked at any of the previous episodes in the past, I recommend doing so. Give it a shot. Just listen. Just listen to what some of the people have to say. Listen to some of their stories and get inspired. Because Sarah, you have done absolutely amazing for yourself. And I am beyond grateful to have you as a part of the community inside Social Army. And I've been beyond grateful to have you as a guest here on the episode today. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. You guys, that concludes another episode today. And if you want to check us out more, feel free to do so. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Later.